you're trying to do a narrative synthesis or synthesizing anything else, any content, any findings, any conclusions you can have about life, or let's be more specific in a scientific field, like I'm researching right now the microbiome composition in MS patients and how those two might be related or interconnected. So what I'm sharing with you right now, you can transfer to, let's say, nearly any other field in the area of life. Why? It's about, if you look at something and try to synthesize your findings, you have to look if you can find some emerging themes, which means whether there are some factors that somehow appear and again, and that somehow seem to be very important for the relationship you try to establish. So let's stay with the example of the microbiome composition. So let's say we would find out that so-called short chain fatty acid producers would be reduced in MS patients, and therefore their effect would be reduced in the patients. So in the end, they would have increased symptoms of MS. Most people would just try to find studies, claims out there that support their emerging themes, what they just found out. And in general, there's nothing wrong with that, because they just try to find something, and this is something very inherent to our human brain, what supports what they are already thinking, even if they just found it out and think it's some kind of a new knowledge they just attained. But real knowledge lies in the simple and small, and sometimes not simple, differences between the lines, which means you would have to look also what kind of discrepancies in your emerging themes are there. So you would have to look for studies that make contradictory claims, that find contradictory results to your emerging themes. And then you would also have to take this into consideration. This is something what I personally prefer to do, and or at least try to do, because in the end we do not know. We always have to go from those emerging themes, from those meta-analyses, as they are called, or those reviews, back to the individual level. And at the same time, the findings you have during your narrative synthesis processes or anywhere else in life, it's not the thing that they are not correct inherently or that they are false per se, but maybe there's also the other part that you have to look for individual differences and how those emerging themes, topics, conclusions can just be adjusted to the individual situation.